treason, treachery, perfidy. He even had sown the seeds of insurrection all around her. But now this vile, hateful creature was on her way to discover why she should have respected her equals, and never betrayed her queen.
Even! Over here!
The ceremony begins.
There's others coming, friends. Lots of others.
Keep them back. We need to focus.
Child, cover us!
Let's peek ahead to the end of this story, shall we? Oh, look at that! It says, even lost and died alone and unloved. The end. I've never seen an ending so accurate, while at the same time also being so deeply satisfying.
Come on, get on!
Hated herself for fighting back, almost as much as everyone else hated her too. Was about to end. All she was doing was delaying it. All she was doing was buying herself more punishment. She was nothing but a little girl, lost against a swarm of rebels. She deserved to die. She'd earned it. Her mind fog. She felt herself ending, and through her body, she welcomed it.
It's done, lamb.
We've done it! The rest is up to you!
And more robots are coming, love.
Oh, so how does it work?
You can only use it in your dreams, child.
I have to fall asleep? My dream card. Of course. All I need to do is sleep. Okay, Even, you can do this. It's like Uma taught you. Relax. Deep breaths. Relax. Deep breaths. Relax. Deep.
Just won't give up. Perhaps I picked the wrong sister.
Nah, we both would have been here to kick your butt.
What kind of witchery is this?
This is my dream, you puppet, and I'm not afraid of you. So take your baggage, get out.
You'll regret this. You'll all regret this. I'll get my dice. I'll get you.
The word you're looking for isn't dice, Your Majesty. It's die! The dread I've been feeling, it's gone. I don't know. Something's still missing. But Dicey, I know we're moving. Whoa! It's not like anything I've seen before. Ah! Oh no! No! Okay, I don't think they spotted us. This doesn't look right, but it's gotta be the place. The Grand Gate to Seistopia. Huh? What? What happened here? I don't understand. Is this really it? Maybe this is like a fake Seistopia, meant to confuse invaders or something? I don't believe this! Seistopia is supposed to be this whole wondrous place that grown-ups have been telling us about since the day we were born! And it's fake? It's all a lie? What is going on? None of this makes sense.
Oh, Stu! What mischief have you got yourself into this time? Ha ha! It's classic Stu! Now, Annabelle, we use our polite words around others, remember? Good morning, lovelies! Good morning, Charles. Why don't you look handsome today? Oh, heck, I'm just the same old man I always was, but bless your heart for lying, lovelies. Oh, you're here too, Albert.
Hey, ugly. I'm a big, stupid cardboard person, and I'm Charles's least favorite because I'm a mean, stupid idiot who falls apart all the time.
Yes, Albert. We're all familiar with your whole deal.
Excuse me, Charles?
Read. We've been here for 60 years. You ought to know what's going on by now. Yeah, what gives? Though, of course, not much actually does go on here. You stand around and I fix you when you fall apart. Easy. Easy peasy. Cutouts? Why, that's a fine way to refer to yourself. Don't be rude. Besides, would a cardboard cutout start talking to me 5 years into my job here? It would not. And since you lovelies have been talking to me every day since, let's just say I know you're all more than what you seem. Even if Albert here keeps losing his head over this.
Huh, you love it.
Of course you are, obviously. You're all real here.
No, we're real. If we were fake, could my head fall off all the time?
Oh, no, don't you dare, Albert. I've had enough of that for today by far. Oh, what do you mean I'm not real? Oh, now look what you've done. You've hurt Bedelia's feelings. There, Bedelia. Oh, she says mean things. I know. I'm gonna talk to her about it, okay? But you're real. We're all real here. Alone? Ha! I'm surrounded by friends here. There's Bedelia, Claude 2, Snugglebuns, 8-Ball, Big Tony, Little Tony, Average Tony, the hated Albert. Boingy Woingy, Peanut Butter and Jam, they're twins. Don, Donner, Donist, Don Ultimate, Don Penultimate, Don Ultra Don... Well, I don't need to tell you their names. We've all been here forever! You don't talk like the others, do you? She sure doesn't.
Should we be suspicious, Charles? I'm very suspicious.
No, it's okay. It's fine to be curious, lovelies. My earliest memory.
It's when my head first fell off 40 years ago.
No, it's when me and Patacakes got married 50 years ago.
No, it was when I was young. Just a child, really. The nanny came for me in that chariot that walked like a spider. She dropped me here, told me my only task in life was to take care of these props. She said my fate was never to be anything more than a forgotten janitor. And then she disappeared, and she never came back. And all I've done for every day of my life since then was live here alone, so profoundly alone, surrounded only by these parodies of life, mocking me every hour of every day with their ageless faces and painted on smiles, and Oh, so I thought. But then 5 years into it, y'all started talking to me and you've never stopped since.
And now you're an old man surrounded by friends who'll never die.
Ha ha, sure am, lovelies. Ha ha, ain't that a blessing? Ha ha, why, I must be the luckiest guy in the whole world. Woohoo! The nanny? No, not in any way that counts. That's true. Her chariot goes by sometimes, but it only goes up to the tower. Up there.
We hear nothing. How can they be so quiet?
They're enjoying quiet, fun times, Albert, and that's all I will hear on the subject. Not ever.
They pass through sometimes.
That hardly counts.
They go to the tower.
Look, I don't want to talk about it.
Nanny's chariot passes through on its way to the tower. The children get quieter and quieter as the chariot moves away.
Then we never hear them again. Oh, how I could visit them in the tower. What quiet fun they must be having. Then she's playing up in the tower all day long. How lucky.
Wait. Why would the Queen want the nanny to take one of us cardboard cutouts?
It's never happened before.
Maybe she isn't really a cardboard cutout like us.
No, she is. She's just lost her mind, that's all. I'm humoring her, see? Tell me about your sister, lovely. Odd. That name. Now, where have I heard that name before? Oh, yes! Odd! The Queen graced us with her presence not too long past, and she had a girl with her. Odd, she called her. She wore a white mask, I remember.
She looked strange.
Strangely happy, yes, as are we all. They didn't have time to acknowledge any of us, of course. She's very busy, but they went out that way, right through there. Oh, you're welcome. We all say thanks, don't we?
We sure do.
It's nice to get company.
It's nice to see a new face.
It's nice to be remembered at all.
And hey, say hi to the Queen for me. Remind her I'm here. I'm still here.
It's horrible. Like glaciers made out of, I don't know, spare.
Don't get it on you, buddy.
This must be it. A tower. What's inside there, Dicey? I can just feel it. She has to be.
We've come so far, haven't we? But I still don't know for sure what you want me to do.
Oi, looking to get an invincibility potion, are you? You've come to the wrong place. I've got cards, though. Cards on the table. This is a bit outside my normal rounds, and not at all what I was expecting. But now you're here, and Medidex is playing a sympathy card. You've got to buy something, mate. Please? Oh, Manny doesn't try to understand the world. All I understand is cards. And I understand now that perhaps you're looking to trade. You never know who's listening, mate. Now, let's trade and forget all about any treasonous thoughts, eh?
fall. Don't fall. Don't. It's the sudden stop at the end that I'm worried about, Dicey. I feel it too, Dicey. You get close to it and it's like every bone in your body is warning you to keep away.
It smells like...
That's exactly...
the goo. Almost looks like it's living, or used to be alive.
Now there's the face of a girl who wants to trade cards. And I got good news for you.
Is that you? Seymour? Seymour! Is he... You're alive!
Oh, is that you even? I was just resting my eyes.
Seymour, your eyes.
They didn't even make it about a number. They just took all 3.
I'm gonna get you out of here.
No, even you can't. There's too many. You'll never be able to. What are you doing? Run! Careful, even. I don't know how much longer I can do. You're even tougher than I knew, even. Nanny Fortuna happened to me, I'm afraid. She caught me in Forberg, captured me, tried to get me to talk about you, but I didn't tell them anything even. Told them my name was Seymour, not Talkmore. That's when she started taking my eyes. But what about you, even? I thought you were going home. What made you change your mind? Realized what? Wow. Nicely said, my friend. The Queen. She's more powerful than you think. And from what I've overheard, your sister has changed. She won't be what you expect. Oh, I'm sorry, even, about all of this. We adults messed up the world, and somehow it's been left to you to fix. A child sent to face off against the most twisted and dangerous being and random, and it's not right. I'm sorry I can't stop you, even. And I'm sorry. There is. Whatever's happened to your sister, just be careful. There's nothing I can do to help you now, especially given my current condition. Oh, thank you. Now, all we have to do is survive Nanny and the Queen and her minions, and we'll fix everything. Let's go. Hey, whoa.
Seymour, you're in no condition to fight. You need to rest.
I can't let you do it alone.
I'm not alone. Seymour, when this is all over, there will always be a place for you in one town.
I'd like that, even.
I'm supposed to find someone here. I don't know, Dicey. But I know they're here somewhere.
She was almost there. Almost there.
This was not what was supposed to happen. This isn't what happens next, you know. I ought to, shouldn't I? I am the Queen. Show some respect. The Queen desires control. More than that, she desires not to be controlled. She reached a point where she thought I was controlling her. You're smarter than you look, child. Yes, that is true. But I could... Stories take us places. All of us. Even narrators. I could narrate volumes to you, child. But, like I said, that is not what happens next. She was happy. We were happy. There was such promise in her. Tragedy. Something. It is a tale long forgotten. A narrator, we grow to reflect our subjects. I presume I was a knight. You can narrate. This was not what was supposed to happen. As days bled into months, and then into years, no one could say what would happen now, least of all me.
Even's narrator was so close, she just had to keep looking. Some part of Even knew her narrator was close. It was a feeling that went beyond
certain.
words.
The story had taken a very dark turn.
The boy, the boy,
All this for a little super juice. I'll tell you what happened. I was minding my business, and then Nanny Fortuna came, and I accidentally spilled some super juice on her. That's it. Right? And then she arrested me and brought me to the Queen. And then I maybe spilled some juice on her. Yeah. And then I tried to clean it up and kinda maybe spilled some more juice on her black dice. And down her dress. That was 2 lifetimes. Pockets, mostly. Cheeks, too. Something wrong, Adam. I'm a juicy boy. I'm not gonna... Anyway, that's my story. Remember me, my only...
Stay contented. A voice. Like the boy. And on the notable.
Even and her narrator were almost reunited. She was so close. She was so dramatically close.
Hello, Even. Do you remember me? For I remember you. And yet you're probably wondering why I'm here and not. I suppose it makes no difference to tell you. The Queen hired me all those years ago to kill that meddlesome King of Freedom. Oh, I was paid. The Queen wanted to ensure his children would tear each other up. Oh, but she played even me, you see. She promised me the people would fear the Shadow Man beyond reason. But they did. And when I finally had enough, when I finally threatened to reveal the truth to everyone, well, here I am. No, you don't get to pity me. I'm terrifying. You're terrified of me. You don't pity me. In fact, no, I pity you. Nobody pities me. No.
My friend, thank you for the rescue. Now, I can get back to my job of narrating. The narrator said, narratively.
Weird. Yeah, it's you. There you are.
Whoa, wait. You can hear me? This is unprecedented. Took the words right out of my mouth. It was hard being alone. I felt like half a person, if that makes sense. It would be strange if you didn't. I am your narrator, after all. Oh, but it is now. But you can hear me now. We should make the most of that while we can. One never knows how long it will. We've got a quest to finish, my friend, and I stand ready to describe it if you stand ready to live it. I'm afraid I can't even. I'm a storyteller, not an oracle. You and Dicey live your life. I describe it during moments chosen for dramatic effect, and together we'll make the best story we can, yeah? What about it? Is there such a thing as free will? Are our decisions just the random firings of neurons in our brains? Do we even have time for such a Now then, where were we? Yes. A girl, her dice, and her narrator were reunited at last. No.
You have to get me out of here. I'm a unicorn. A real live unicorn. I swear, I am a real unicorn. The Queen imprisoned me because I spread literal rainbows wherever I went, and they clashed with her aesthetic. Okay, fine, I'm not a unicorn, okay? I'm just a talking horse who told her off. But that's still incredibly magical and special. You've got to help me.
This used to be a beautiful palace, a place of learning, of magic, of... Oh, yes, Dicey. It was also a place of dice. Halls that once echoed with the laughter of children were now still, empty and desolate. Oh, right. Except for Even and her amazing friend Dicey, who was... great, did you say? Who was, and I quote, great and awesome to the max.
Oh, hey! I've got cards to trade.
The end? No, far from it. dark crystals had appeared in the same age as the castle's fall, but they were not the cause of this destruction, merely an effect of it. There was something much darker here.
Way to creep us out, Mr. Narrator.
The remains of the castle were quiet, almost serene, but within them still dwelled a great power.
Here goes nothing, Dicey. Point taken.